The climate system is complex and interactive. It is made up of the atmosphere, land surface, snow and ice, oceans, and living things. According to scientists and governments that make up the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change, called the IPCC, the climate system is warming, and human activities are the reason. The damage cannot be immediately undone, but people and nations can act together to reduce greenhouse gas emissions that have caused this global warming.
Climate varies on very long time scales through the major ice ages and interglacials, mainly because of changes in the Earth's orbit around the sun. There are also natural variations from changes in the composition of the atmosphere, and in recent times, those are mainly because of volcanic eruptions. And now humans are causing climate change, mainly through the changes in the composition of the atmosphere by burning of fossil fuels. One of the key statements from the recent IPCC report is that global warming is unequivocal. And to get that past all of the governments was in many ways a major achievement, but it's also a clear indication of the amount of evidence that points to a warming of the planet. And so the oceans are warming up. There's a decrease in sea ice. There's a decrease in the snow cover in the northern hemisphere. Glaciers are generally melting. Drought becomes more widespread, especially in the tropics. Water vapor is increasing in the atmosphere. There are changes in cloudiness and storms. Rainfall is generally becoming more intense. So we're actually seeing all these things occurring now. And so the questions are then, well, what can we do in this regard? Use of renewable resources of all kinds. Hydroelectric power is one of the best ones, I think. But growing use of solar power and wind power and biofuels. But we also need to ride a bicycle a bit more than the amount of we drive our cars maybe too much. But driving more fuel-efficient cars. There's a whole host of things like this. Better insulation in houses. There's a lot of things that we can do as individuals, but really the problem goes beyond individuals, and we have to take this on as a nation, because we can't stop the emissions that we're putting into the atmosphere now immediately, and because of the long lifetime of the carbon dioxide that's already there, we're going to have to live with a certain amount of climate change. So adaptation has got to be a key part of our planning for the future. The way to think about this is really the stewardship of the planet, and what kind of a planet are we leaving the future generations? Our grandchildren, our great-grandchildren, they're the ones who are going to bear the consequences of what we're doing today.